Did Charlie Kirk's parents never fully trust Erica? And did they actually warn him, just days before the tragedy that shocked the nation? Online communities are now diving deep into a growing wave of rumors, claiming that tension between Erica and Charlie's parents existed long before his death, hidden behind carefully controlled public appearances. At the memorial, while millions praised Erica's brave and powerful speech, others noticed something unsettling, something that didn't fit. On one side, Erica, smiling, confident, stepping into the spotlight, giving speeches, launching podcasts, appearing with politicians, and almost immediately taking over as the new CEO of Turning Point USA. On the other side, Charlie's parents, silent, distant, visibly devastated, avoiding media, avoiding events, and refusing to say a single word in Erica's defense. And that silence lit the fuse. Suddenly, the internet exploded with speculation. Did the family warn Charlie? Why did Erica step into power so quickly? Why did the audit Charlie was reportedly conducting suddenly stop? What happened to his laptop and phone? People are now asking the biggest question of all. Was this genuine grief, or a carefully planned power move? And if his parents were truly wary of Erica, what did they see? The more people looked, the stranger everything began to feel. At first, most viewers dismissed the uncomfortable details as coincidence. Grief affects people differently, right? Some shut down, some stepped forward. But as the days passed, patterns started forming that were impossible for many to ignore. According to circulating online discussions, Charlie's parents were not just grieving quietly, they were completely absent from key memorial moments that traditionally involve immediate family. Commentators pointed out how unusual it was that the parents of someone as influential as Charlie would remain so distant, especially when the entire nation was watching. Some users claimed that even close family friends were confused, expecting the parents to stand beside Erica during the memorial, receive condolences, and speak about their son's legacy. Instead, they were reportedly nowhere near the center of anything. Meanwhile, Erica appeared calm, composed, and in full control. Clips from the memorial show her speaking with confidence, smiling for cameras, greeting high-profile figures, and even posing with the Medal of Freedom awarded to Charlie posthumously. For many viewers, the contrast was jarring. People online began comparing screenshots, Erica smiling broadly while holding the medal, and Charlie's parents in the background, pale, exhausted, and visibly devastated. The emotional gap between them became a driving force behind the speculation. Then came one of the most discussed moments, the alleged handover request. Rumors online assert that shortly after being informed of Charlie's passing, the family was asked to surrender his laptop and phone, with claims that they were organizational property. Some social media users argued that this timing felt insensitive, even strategic, considering the family was still processing the news. When the devices reportedly disappeared afterward, and authorities allegedly did not confirm possession, the narrative began shifting from tragedy to mystery. More and more voices began suggesting that something deeper was happening, something that Charlie himself might have been aware of. Posts surfaced claiming that Charlie had been conducting an internal audit within PUSA, looking into financial inconsistencies or leadership decisions. Whether these rumors hold any truth remains unclear, but the timing fueled countless theories. Why would such an audit suddenly stop right after his death? Why would key devices go missing? Why would those closest to him remain silent? Supporters of Erica argued that she was simply stepping up for the organization, continuing the mission Charlie dedicated his life to. They claimed that her leadership gave stability during chaos, that someone needed to fill the void immediately, and she was the obvious choice. But critics questioned the speed. Within days, Erica was reportedly running operations, recording podcasts, scheduling events, and making public appearances. Many found it strange that someone experiencing fresh grief could transition so seamlessly into a position of authority. That's where the idea of a planned move began gaining traction. Comment sections filled with speculation that Erica had been positioned for leadership long before the tragedy, and that the parents were aware of it. Users claimed that their silence wasn't just grief, it was resistance. Some pointed to their body language, saying they kept physical distance from Erica, avoided eye contact, and stood apart from her at ceremonies. Others claimed that the parents refused to sit beside her during official proceedings, choosing instead to remain in the background. Through all of this, one detail stood out more than anything. Despite the growing controversy and accusations online, Charlie's parents never defended Erica. Not once. Not a single statement, not a single supportive gesture. For many, that silence felt louder than any accusation. People began asking uncomfortable questions. If everything was normal, why wouldn't the parents reassure the public? Why wouldn't they stand united in honoring their son's legacy? Why remain distant while speculation spiraled out of control? Some online commentators suggested that the parents may have tried to speak privately or were intentionally being kept out of organizational decisions. Others believed that their absence was voluntary, a quiet message that they did not support the narrative being presented publicly. Rumors continued spreading, each one adding fuel to the fire. Claims emerged about Erica's past, her connections, her sudden rise, and her confidence in the spotlight. Whether any of it was factual remained uncertain, but perception was already shifting. For thousands watching this unfold, the story was no longer about grief. It was becoming a story about power, control, and the legacy of one of the most influential conservative figures of his generation. And in the center of it all, one question kept resurfacing across platforms. If Charlie's parents truly never trusted Erica, what did they know that the public didn't? If this is the direction you want, say. Speculation intensified when a viral TikTok compilation began circulating, highlighting a series of moments that many viewers claimed were too coordinated to be natural. The compilation showed Erica moving seamlessly through political circles, giving polished speeches, and engaging confidently with high-level figures, all within days of the tragedy. Commenters questioned how someone supposedly overwhelmed with grief could maintain such composure. Some suggested she had been preparing for this role for months, while others argued that she was simply strong and driven. Still, the contrast between Erica and Charlie's parents remained the focal point of the discussion. Observers noted that the parents rarely appeared in public after the memorial, and when they did, their expressions seemed distant and heavy. One clip, widely shared online, showed the parents standing several feet away from Erica during a ceremony, their faces expressionless, their posture withdrawn. People interpreted this moment in countless ways, some calling it evidence of emotional devastation, others viewing it as deliberate avoidance. The silence from the parents only made matters worse. In situations involving public figures, families often release statements expressing unity or gratitude. But in this case, nothing came. No acknowledgement of Erica's leadership, no shared message about continuing Charlie's mission, nothing that suggested collaboration. The absence of communication created a vacuum that social media quickly filled with theories. Rumors began emerging that the parents had reservations about Erica long before the tragedy. Posts appeared claiming that close family friends had overheard arguments or warnings being given to Charlie. Screenshots purporting to show text exchanges circulated widely, though their authenticity was never verified. Regardless, they fed into a narrative that the parents believed Erica had ambitions beyond the marriage. Another angle that gained traction involved the sudden halt of the rumored internal audit. According to online discussions, Charlie had been reviewing financial records and leadership decisions related to the organization. The fact that this alleged audit stopped immediately after his death struck many as suspicious. People questioned whether sensitive information was involved, information that could have threatened reputations or power structures. The missing devices, his laptop and phone, became symbols of potential secrets, fueling speculation that critical data might have been wiped or hidden. Meanwhile, Erica's rapid rise within the organization remained a topic of intense debate. Critics argued that stepping into the CEO role so quickly was inappropriate and insensitive, especially while the family was grieving. Supporters, however, insisted that the organization needed stability and that Erica was simply honoring Charlie's legacy by continuing his work. The polarization between these viewpoints made the story even more compelling, with both sides digging deeper into their beliefs. Some online investigators went further, exploring Erica's past. Claims surfaced linking her to influential networks and political figures, suggesting she had connections that could have facilitated her swift transition into power. Whether these claims were true or exaggerated, they added an element of intrigue and international mystery to the narrative. Through all of this, the parents stayed silent. They did not attend key events organized under Erica's leadership. They did not appear in promotional materials or speak publicly about the organization's direction. Their withdrawal created an impression that they were distancing themselves not just emotionally, but politically. What troubled many observers was the consistency of this distance. If the parents were simply overwhelmed with grief, why did their absence seem so deliberate? Why avoid public appearances that celebrated their son's legacy? Why refuse to stand beside Erica during major ceremonies? The lack of answers encouraged viewers to fill in the blanks with their own interpretations. Social media thrives on uncertainty, and this situation provided endless opportunities for speculation. Some believed the parents were quietly gathering information, preparing to speak out when the time was right. Others suspected they feared backlash or legal complications. A few even theorized that the parents were being sidelined intentionally, kept away from organizational decisions by those now in control. Regardless of the truth, the tension between the parents' silence and Erica's visibility continued to captivate audiences. Every new appearance, every missing detail, every moment of emotional contrast added to the growing sense that something deeper was unfolding. And as more people analyzed the situation, one thought kept echoing across platforms. If the parents truly disapproved of Erica's role, why haven't they said anything? If this direction works, say. The turning point for many came when a clip surfaced from a private gathering held just days after the memorial, where Erica was seen laughing and speaking confidently with political figures. The tone of the event appeared celebratory rather than somber, at least according to those sharing the footage. Viewers questioned how someone who had just lost their husband could appear so composed and socially engaged. Supporters of Erica argued that people cope with grief in different ways, and that maintaining normalcy can be a coping mechanism. But critics insisted that the timing felt off, even unsettling. At the same time, online users began focusing on subtle details that they believed revealed deeper tension between Erica and the parents. In one photograph, Charlie's mother stood with her arms tightly crossed, looking away while Erica spoke to a group of attendees. Body language analysts on social media dissected the image, suggesting that the closed posture signified discomfort or rejection. Others pointed out that the parents avoided standing near Erica in every publicly available image from the events, interpreting this as intentional distancing rather than coincidental placement. Another piece fueling speculation involved the Medal of Freedom moment. When Erica was photographed holding and showcasing the medal, many found it celebratory, almost promotional. Critics argued that such a display felt inappropriate so soon after the tragedy, especially considering that the medal symbolized Charlie's achievements and legacy. The parents, in contrast, were seen standing quietly, barely acknowledging the ceremonial aspect. Their solemn demeanor contrasted sharply with Erica's confident expression, further reinforcing the narrative of emotional disconnect. Meanwhile, rumors continued circulating about internal disagreements within the organization. Some claimed that the parents felt excluded from decision-making processes related to their son's legacy. According to online discussions, they expected to have some advisory role or symbolic involvement, given their long-standing support during Charlie's rise. Instead, they reportedly found themselves sidelined as Erica and the organization's leadership moved forward. Whether this exclusion was intentional or simply a result of organizational priorities remains unclear, but the perception of it contributed to the widening divide. One theory gaining momentum suggested that the parents' silence was strategic. Commenters speculated that they might be waiting for the right moment to speak publicly, perhaps after gathering more information or consulting legal counsel. Others believed that the silence was a form of passive protest, a way of signaling disapproval without engaging directly in public conflict. The lack of clarity allowed the narrative to grow unchecked, with every new appearance by Erica or absence by the parents interpreted as meaningful. The conversation then shifted toward the broader implications of the situation. Viewers questioned who truly held influence within the organization now. Was Erica merely stepping into a role that had already been planned for her, or was she reshaping the organization according to her own vision? Some theorized that Charlie's death accelerated a transition that was already in motion. Others argued that the rapid shift suggested a power struggle behind the scenes, one that the parents may have anticipated. As more online communities examined the timeline, inconsistencies emerged that fueled additional speculation. The speed of certain announcements, scheduling of events, and organizational restructuring appeared unusually coordinated. Critics pointed to these developments as evidence that preparations had been made earlier, while supporters attributed them to efficient leadership during a crisis. Throughout all of this, the emotional contrast remained the most compelling aspect. Viewers couldn't help but focus on the difference between Erica's polished public presence and the parents' withdrawn, grief-stricken appearance. The stark contrast created a narrative that resonated with audiences, regardless of where they stood on the issue. With every new detail, the situation became more layered and ambiguous. And as discussions spread across platforms, one unsettling thought continued to emerge. What if the parents' silence isn't accidental at all? If this tone works, say. So now we're left standing at the edge of a story that feels unfinished, a puzzle with pieces missing, voices silent, and motives that still aren't clear. We've seen the public moments, the emotional contrasts, the sudden power shift, and the unanswered questions surrounding the audit, the missing devices, and the parents' complete withdrawal. But the biggest questions remain hanging in the air, unresolved and unsettling. Why did Charlie's parents never defend Erica? Why did they distance themselves so noticeably? Why did everything move so quickly after his death? And most importantly, who is really shaping Charlie Kirk's legacy now? Some people believe Erica is simply honoring her husband's mission. Others are convinced there's something deeper, something strategic, something planned long before the tragedy. And until the parents speak, or someone reveals what really happened, nothing feels certain. This is where you come in. We want to know what you see in all of this. Do you think Erica is a grieving widow stepping into responsibility? Or do you believe this was a calculated move for power and control? Do you think the parent's silence is grief, or a warning? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might reveal a detail everyone else missed. And if you want us to continue digging into the audit rumors, the missing devices, and the alleged warnings from the family, make sure you like this video. Your engagement tells us you want the next chapter. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the updates, because what we've uncovered so far might only be the beginning. New information is surfacing every day, and the next revelation could change everything. We'll see you in the next video, where this story gets even more complicated. Stay tuned.